Hey there, welcome. We're going to get this practice started in downward dog. So go ahead and plant your hands on your mat. Feet are about hip width apart here. And we want to make sure anytime your hands are on the mat here, you want to make sure that the palms are pressed down, each knuckle's pressed down, your fingers are spread wide and they're active. So if somebody came to lift your finger off the mat, it would snap right back down. That's going to keep pressure out of your wrists. We'll be on our hands quite a lot in this practice, so you want to make sure your wrists are feeling good. We'll just walk our feet out here a little bit, stretch into the backs of the legs. The goal here is to not have a bunch of weight in our shoulders and be more in a plank position. We want to get those hips up high and get the weight back in our low body. So if you need to bend your knees a little bit in your downward dog, that's totally fine. Draw the belly in. You're looking towards your belly. And we're going to inhale our right leg up nice and high, and then exhale, stack the right hip on top of the left. You are welcome to make circles with the knee. If you like to work into the hip joint, you're welcome to just hang out here and enjoy the stretch. Really push into that right hand. Or if you'd like to flip your dog, you can drop that right foot back behind you. Press the hips up. Reach that right arm forward, looking towards the right hand. And then we'll all meet back in that three-legged dog. And exhale, release that foot to the mat. Walking out the feet a little bit here. And then inhale the left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee. Stack left hip on top of the right. Press into the left hand. Doing whatever you did on the other side, maybe making those giant circles, maybe just trying to get that right foot or left foot closer to the right shoulder, maybe coming in to that flipped dog. Good. Let's all meet back in three-legged dog. And exhale, release. We'll inhale, right leg up. Exhale, that knee to the right elbow, pushing the mat away from you, pulling the belly in, getting that knee up high on the arm. Inhale it out. Exhale to the right arm again. Inhale it out. Exhale to the right arm. Inhale it out. And exhale, release. Inhale, left leg up. Then exhale it to the left arm. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale that leg long. And exhale. Inhale it out. Exhale. Bring that foot to the mat. Drop your knees. We're going to come down into a few cat-cows. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Hammock the spine. Exhale. Arch the spine. 2 more nice slow breaths. Slow movement. Good. And we'll go ahead and walk out to puppy dog. So keep your hips up, stacked over your knees. Reach your arms out long. Pressing the chest lightly down towards the mat. Your forehead can be on the mat or you can bring your chin to the mat. Last few breaths. If you want to bring your hands together in prayer and place them behind the head. And then arch the spine. Pull the belly in and pull back on those elbows. Feel the nice stretch there in your shoulders and your triceps. Go ahead and release those arms out back in front of you. And we'll bring our palms back under our shoulders here. We're going to bring our right leg back, pressing the ball of the foot into our mat and pushing into our hands. Shoulders are protracted, belly's nice and tight. Maybe you lift the left knee off of the mat. Maybe you go ahead and lift that whole left leg to a hover. Really push the ground away from you through your hands. Belly is really tight. That right quad is really engaged. Whole core is fired up right now. Good. Bring your left leg back down if that's lifted. Our right leg is going to lift up off of the mat now. Bend that knee. Try to reach back with your left hand for that right foot. If you're able to get a grip, go ahead and kick into it, creating a back bend. Feel a little buoyancy here. Go ahead and release. Right knee down on the mat. And then we'll extend left leg back, really pressing into the ball of that foot, pushing the ground away from us through our hands, maybe lifting the right knee or the whole right leg to a hover. Squeeze that belly tight. Push the ground away from you. And keep breathing. We'll go ahead and release the right leg down if it's lifted. Bring the left leg up, bend that knee, reach back with your right hand for the foot, and give it a kick. Nice. Go ahead and release. And we're going to keep our left hand planted. Inhale, right arm reaches up, opening the right side of our mat, and then exhale. Bring that right arm across the chest into a twist, threading the needle. And then you can extend the left arm long. 2 breaths. Then we'll come back into our tabletop. Right hand stays planted. Inhale, left arm up, open up to the left side of the mat. Then exhale, thread the needle, bring that left arm across. Right arm reaches out. Good, go ahead and come back into downward dog. We're going to inhale the right leg up. Exhale that knee to the right elbow. Inhale it out. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale it out. Exhale, knee to the left elbow. Inhale it out. Exhale, release that foot to the mat. Then we'll inhale left leg up. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale out. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale. Exhale, cross over to that right elbow. Inhale. Exhale, release the foot to the mat. And we'll slowly walk our feet up to meet our hands. Feet can be hip width apart here. Let's take a shoulder rinse. So get a clasp with your hands behind you. Bend your knees and rest your chest on your thighs. Then reach those arms away from the body. Let your head hang heavy. Last breath. Go ahead and release your grip, keeping your feet hip width apart. Take an even bigger bend in your knees and inhale, reach the arms up, coming into chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale into your chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Let's do one more. Inhale. Let's hold this one for 2 breaths. Exhale, fold. Heel toe the feet to touch. Take an inhale. Lengthen the spine, chest and gaze forward. Exhale, plant your hands. Step or jump back to plank, lower down, either all the way to your belly or to a hover. And then inhale up to cobra or upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Take an inhale. On your exhale, prepare. Lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward. And then on the inhale, walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat and lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up, come up to standing. Look up, stretch. Lengthen, chest and gaze forward. Exhale, plant your hands, take it back and lower. Inhaling up and exhaling back. Hold here for a couple breaths. Take an inhale. Prepare on that exhale. Inhale to come forward and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to standing. Stretch. We'll do that. Sun salutation. One more time. Pull your belly in and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Take it back and lower. Inhale up. Exhale back to downward dog. Hold here a couple breaths. Take an inhale. On your exhale, prepare. Inhale, come forward, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sink your hips, reach your arms up. We have our legs together in this chair. Starting a sun B. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands. Take it back and lower. Inhale up. Exhale back. You're turning left foot. And then inhale, right foot forward up to warrior one. Exhale, plant your hands, step back and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Turning the right foot now. Inhale your left foot forward up to your warrior one. Exhale, plant your hands, step back and lower. Inhale up. And exhale back. Take a couple breaths here. Take an inhale. Prepare on the exhale. Inhale, come forward, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale into your chair, reach your arms up. You can bring your hands to heart center. We're going to stay here. So settle into it. You're going to lift the heels, come up onto the toes, keep your hips low. Bring your heels down. Bring the heels up. Heels down. One more time, heels up. And we're going to hold. We're going to bring our knees wide. Bring them together. Knees wide. Together. Last time wide. Together. Heels down. And fold. Good job. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take it back and down. Inhale up. Exhale to downward dog. We're going to inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to elbow, right elbow. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale. Exhale, cross to the left elbow. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale it to the left elbow. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale. Exhale, cross to the right. Inhale. Exhale, release. Take a nice big round of breath. Inhale your right foot forward to the top of your mat. Come up to a crescent lunge. Hold here. Take an inhale. On that exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We'll take another inhale, lengthen, draw the belly in, and exhale, twist. You can keep your palms together if you'd like, or you can open it out. Really strong. If hands separated, bring them back together in prayer. Come back, center. Inhaling, and then exhale, plant your hands. You're going to step back to take a flow. You can keep that right leg lifted as you lower. If you want more of a challenge, then inhale up and exhale back. Take a nice deep breath. And then we'll inhale our left foot to the top of our mat. Come up into that crescent lunge. Back leg is strong. Feet are in different lanes of traffic here. One more breath. Take an inhale. On your exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to lengthen, draw the belly in, and then exhale, twist. Try not to let your left hip pop out to the side. You want to try to keep the hips square behind you. Open the arms if you did that on the other side. Hands separated, bring them back together. Inhale, back, center. And then exhale, plant your hands, take it back, lower down. Inhale up and exhale back. Nice big round of breath here. We'll inhale our right foot forward and come up to our lunge again, our crescent lunge. We're going to do power lunge. So you'll keep your arms above your head. If you need to modify, you can bring your hands to heart center. So inhale, exhale, hinge at the waist, reach forward, inhale, back up, exhale, back forward. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, back up. Now we're going to plant our hands and push off from that back foot, coming into a standing split. So you don't actually have to be in the splits to be doing this and to be getting a good challenge. Just lift that left leg as high as you can, keeping your left hip rolled down. So we don't want to open the hip up to lift the leg further. Maybe you can bring your right hand to your ankle, your right ankle, or maybe both hands. One day, your forehead on your right leg. Good. Go ahead. Step back into that crescent lunge, inhaling your arms up, and then exhale, plant your hands, step back to take a flow. Again, you always have that option to keep the foot lifted behind you, that you step back if you want a little more challenge. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, left foot forward, coming up to that crescent lunge. We're going to come into power lunge here. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge forward, reach. Inhale. Try to move with control. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, last time forward. Inhale, back up. Then we're going to exhale, hands plant, and push off from that back foot. Lift the right leg as high as you can. Try to drop your head if you can. We'll go ahead, step back into our lunge. And then exhale, plant your hands, take it back and lower. Inhale up and exhale back. Drop your knees, come into child's pose for 3 breaths. After those 3 breaths, we'll meet in downward dog. We're going to inhale the right foot forward and come up to a crescent lunge again. From here, you'll bring your hands to heart center, and we're going to come forward into warrior 3. So push off from that back foot and try with control to come forward. Keep the left foot flexed. Keep that left hip bumped down. Hands are at heart center, slight pressure between the palms. You can stay here, or maybe, if you'd like, try a challenge of grabbing your left foot with your right hand, maybe both hands, and stay balanced as you kick. And then we'll step back into our lunge and exhale. Plant your hands, stepping back to take a flow. Nice big round of breath here. And then we'll bring the left foot forward on our inhale, coming up into our lunge. Bring your hands to heart center. Push off, come forward into your warrior 3. Keeping the right foot flexed will help with balance. Both legs are active, really strong. Belly is pulled in. Maybe taking that option to grab that back foot and give it a kick. Try to hold. And then we'll release and step back into our lunge. Whew. Each side is very different, is it not? All right, step it back and take a flow. Nice deep breath here. Then we'll inhale our right foot forward, turn the back foot, come up to warrior 1. Holding here, what a nice strong warrior position. So legs very active, even that back leg. Press that foot down into the mat. Inhale. Exhale, open out to warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, plant your hands down, step back for a flow. Inhale, left foot forward. Come up to your warrior 1 to hold. Arms are really strong as well. If it's okay on your shoulders, you're pressing the palms together. Really want to We're looking up towards those hands. That's okay for your balance. Inhale. And then exhale. Open it out, warrior 2. Keeping that back leg active. Try to lift that right arch, pressing the outer edge of that right foot down into the mat. Arms are really strong as well. Fingers are glued together to help keep those arms strong. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, hands plant, stepping back for a flow. Nice deep breath. Inhale, your right foot forward. Come up to warrior two. We're going to come into half moon. So you're going to push off from that back foot and tilt forward. You can bring your right fingertips to the mat if you need to. You can even look up at that left hand if you want a little more challenge. But we want to try to stack our left side of the body on top of the right. So you'll find it easier to achieve that if you're able to get your fingertips up off of the mat. Let's bring both hands down, scissor the thighs together, and we're going to twist. So left hand can stay on the mat, reach the right arm up. Keep that left leg active. Good. Bring both hands down. And we're going to come up into warrior three again with our hands to heart center. Bend into that standing leg and tap your left knee behind that right calf. And then push it back into warrior three. And then knee taps again. Warrior three. Knee taps again. Warrior three. And then back into a lunge. Lift those arms up at inhale. And then exhale. Take it back for a flow. Meeting in downward dog. Take a nice big breath. Then we'll inhale, left foot forward. Come up to that warrior two. Getting ready here for half moon. We're going to push off from that back foot. Tilt forward. Come into it. Try to get right hip stacked on the left. Right shoulder stacked on the left. Roll the right ribs back. And then we'll bring both hands to the mat here. Scissor the thighs together. Keep your right hand down and inhale, left arm up. Keep that belly drawn in. Keep right leg active, right foot flexed. Press up to that warrior three, hands to heart center. And then bend into the standing leg. Tap right knee behind left calf. And then extend it back out, warrior three. Exhale to tap. Inhale it back out. Exhale to tap. Back out. And inhale to your lunge. Reaching the arms up. And then exhale, plant your hands. Take it back, lower down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, your right foot forward. Come up to warrior two again. We're going to move into extended side angle. So you'll bring right elbow to the top of that right knee and slice your left arm out in front of you to the side of your head, keeping your hips low. Maybe challenging yourself a little more by bringing the right arm to the side of the head as well. We'll inhale back to our warrior two. And then exhale, hands plant, step back, and take a flow. Inhale your left foot forward, come up to warrior two. Setting up in that extended side angle. Really pushing down into that right foot, extending out through the right side of the body. Maybe take that option for more challenge, lift the left arm. Inhale back to warrior two. And exhale, plant your hands, take a flow. Take an inhale. On your exhale, prepare. Inhale, come forward, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up, come up to standing. Exhale, giant step out to the right. We're going to do a couple of wide leg stretches here. So make sure your feet are about just below the wrists when your arms are out like a T. Toes slightly inward here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge at the waist. Really long, straight spine all the way down. Lead with your chest and your chin. And when you can't go any further, you're going to find a grip with your two peace fingers on your big toes. Take an inhale with your grip, lengthen, and then exhale, fold. It's okay if your knees are bent a little here. If that's what you need to do to get your grip, that's fine. Just try to keep your spine nice and long. We don't want to have rounding in the spine. So straighten the spine out. Really think about reaching that chest forward. Weight is rocked forward in the feet, out of the heels. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat below your chest. Take an inhale to lengthen and exhale, fold again. Hands just stay on the mat. They're shoulder width apart. The more you fold forward, the more you can walk those hands back, keeping the weight forward in the feet. If you practice headstand, you're welcome to take one here. We're just going to be here another few breaths. Inhale, come up. Exhale, stay there with your hands on your hips. Together, toes pointed outward, and we're going to come down into a squat. So you can use your hands on the mat for support. See where you need to move those feet so that you can be comfortable here. Toes stay in line with the knees. And you can bring your hands to heart center, press the elbows into the knees. Try to keep a nice long spine here as well. And try to drop those hips down as you bring your shoulders back. If you need to sit on a block or use a wall behind you for support, that's fine. We're only going to be here a few more breaths. And then use your hands to work your way back up, and we'll come down into a half squat. So you might need to readjust the feet, but still trying to keep the hips down and the shoulders back, and we'll hold here. You can hold here, or if you want a little more challenge, you can turn on that right foot and tap the right knee down, bringing it back up, and then rotate on the ball of the left foot, tap the left knee, coming back up. And we'll do two more on each knee. And we'll meet back in that half Squat, and then push up, straighten the legs, release your arms to your side, and take a breath. Alrighty, we're going to come back into that half squat. We'll inhale our arms up, and then exhale, hinge forward, sweeping the arms down, and then inhale, back up, reach the arms up. Exhale, back down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Good. Go ahead, straighten the legs up. And then we're going to come down into that squat again, the low squat where we stretch it out. So settle into it again. Option here, if you'd like, you can take a bind around that right knee. Reach the right arm forward, rotating that arm inward as you reach back with the left. Taking a bind, maybe looking up over that left shoulder then. And then we'll do the left side, reaching forward, rotating that arm inward, reaching back with the right hand. And then we'll come back center and come back up all the way to standing. Let's take 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do one more. Good. We're going to take pyramid pose. So you'll rotate towards the back of your mat, right foot forward. Left foot can come out a little bit if you need to. We want to square up our hips to the back of our mat. So options for your arms, you can bring your hands together in prayer behind you. The further up between the shoulder blades you can get those palms, the better. Then we're opening the elbows out wide to try to press the palms together. If you're unable to do that, you can grab opposite elbows if you'd like, or just take a shoulder rinse. Keep those hips squared to the back of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward, long spine all the way down. When you can't go any further, you'll just drop your head. If you have a shoulder rinse, trying to lift those arms away from the body. If your palms are together in prayer behind your back, try to lift those elbows up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back up. We'll rotate towards the front of our mat now. Square up your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. Lead with your chest as you come down. Really long spine all the way down. We'll inhale up. And then exhale, step to the top of your mat. Take a breath. And let's take a flow. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, pull the belly in and fold, tuck your chin. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands. Send it back, lower down. Inhale up and exhale, back into downward dog. From downward dog, we're going to drop our elbows to the mat, coming into dolphin. We're going to do 5 dolphin push-ups. So you will shift forward, lowering the hips a bit, and then push into those arms. Come back, lift the hips up. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come back into downward dog. we're going to shift forward into plank, and we're going to hold our plank. So if you need to modify and drop the knees, that's fine. We're going to hold here. Maybe you want more challenge. Lift the right foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down, left foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it back to downward dog. A break is coming, I promise. Take a nice big breath. Good. We're going to come forward, back into that plank. Now, as you can take this from your knees if you need to. As we shift forward to lower down, you can bring your right knee to your right elbow. Press back up, back to your plank. And then we'll lower left knee to left elbow and back into high plank. One more, just one more on both sides. Back to downward dog. Take a nice deep breath. Now, we're going to come down into Sphinx. So you're going to lower yourself down onto your belly, and you're going to place your forearms on the mat, shoulders stacked over your elbows. Spread the fingers wide. You're going to tuck your toes for this. Our legs are about hip width apart. And on your exhale, you're going to be lifting the hips, pushing into those elbows, and looking towards your belly. On your inhale, drop the hips back down, lengthen the spine, look up. Exhale again, push into those elbows, look towards your belly. Legs are engaged. Inhale. Exhale. Belly's really tight. Inhale. Then stretch the belly out. Let's do 2 more. And then press it back to child's pose. Here's that break I promised you. We're going to take about 6 to 8 more breaths here. Nice long break. So if you think that it would feel good to thread the needle and bring your right arm across the chest and under that left armpit, stretch out your right shoulder, your right upper arm, because we did just do a lot of work there. You can do that for a few breaths and then switch a few more breaths with the left arm. Last breath. And then we'll sit up. We've got one last big push here before we start doing some nice stretching. So I'll explain what we're going to do here. We're going to do 3 sets of boat, and in between each one, we're going to jump back to take a flow, and then jump forward again to come back into that boat. So to do that, to jump back, you just cross your ankles. You can place your hands out in front of you, and you can just step back to take your flow, or you can even jump back to take your flow. Or if you're pretty advanced here and you practice Ashtanga, you know what I'm talking about. You can press into your hands and send those legs straight back, jump them back, and take your flow that way. To jump forward then, once you're in downward dog, you will Starting out, you'll just cross that right foot behind the left wrist, cross the left ankle behind that, take a seat and try to then just bring your legs through, and then you'll be going right into that next boat, okay? So we'll get started. Let's start sitting, setting up here in boat first, and we're gonna hold, and you might wanna modify these first one or two and maybe make that last one your fullest expression of Navasana, because keep in mind, this is a big push here of energy. So you might want to modify and not necessarily go into it as deep as you possibly can. You're going to give it one more big breath here. And then you're planting your hands, jumping back, lowering down, inhaling up, exhaling to downward dog, and then inhale, come through again, and right into that boat. So there's not a lot of rest here. We're going to do this one last big push, and then we've got some nice stretching afterwards. Hold it here. Maybe you're challenging yourself by lifting those feet a little more than you did in your first boat. Last breath. Then cross your ankles, take it back, lower down. And then inhaling to come forward again to a seat and into boat. This is our last boat. Last breath. Then plant your hands, lift up, and exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale into downward dog. With the right leg back, you can, if you practice Ashtanga, that's what we're doing here. So you would just bring your left foot through and keep that right leg back. Otherwise, sit down and just set up, bringing the right leg back, that shoelace part of the foot on the mat, toes pointed straight back. First, we're going to lean back, stretch out our hip flexors that we just were working there in boat. So if you're able to come back onto your elbows, you can tuck that tailbone under. You'll feel a much greater stretch in the right quad and in those hip flexors, keeping that left leg flat on your mat. One more breath. And then you can come forward, grabbing your lowest grip. So maybe you can grab the foot, maybe it's just the ankle or the shin, that's fine. With your grip though, then inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Relaxing the head. Maybe you're able to let it rest on the leg. If not, just relax the head, let it hang. Go ahead and release, and we will switch. So right leg will go out long. Bring that left leg back behind you. Setting up here, we'll lean back into it first. If you're able to come back onto those elbows, then tuck the tailbone under. You could even come all the way down onto your shoulders if you'd like. One more breath. And then we'll come forward and into the hamstring stretch. So find your lowest grip and then inhale, lengthen with that grip. Exhale, fold forward. We'll inhale to come back up. And then let's jump back one more time and meet in downward dog. So you can just step back if you need to downward dog, or you can take that flow. All right, we're going to inhale our right leg up really high, and then exhale, plant that foot at the top of your mat, drop your back knee, and we're going to come up. Inhale the left arm up and over. Push down into that left knee, lift through the left ribs and through that left armpit, and finally out through the left fingertips. One more inhale here. And then exhale that left hand to the mat, and right hand can stay on that knee and come into a twist. Look over your right shoulder. Send the hips forward. The last few breaths, if you'd like, you can reach back for that left foot with your right hand. Get a quad stretch as well here. And play around with either having the hips forward or bringing those hips back towards the heel. You'll feel a different stretch with each of those movements. See which one gets you the best stretch. And then we'll go ahead and release. And we'll walk the foot, the right foot, over to the left wrist. Drop that right knee behind the right wrist, setting up here into pigeon. And we're not going to come down into the stretch. Not yet anyway. I want you to sit up. That left leg is straight back behind you. Maybe you can bring hands to heart center. Maybe your fingertips are just on the mat lightly for support. But really try to work on the strength in your hips and in your low back. You could even, for these last few breaths, if you want to bend that back leg and reach for that foot. Maybe coming into king pigeon if that's in your practice. Maybe coming into mermaid by bringing the foot to the left elbow crease and then just hooking fingertips. We'll take one more breath. And then if you have that grip, release it. I'll let you come down here into the stretch for just a few breaths. And then shift over to that right hip and swing your left leg out in front of you. And keep your right foot on the inside of that left leg. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, reach for your lowest grip. Let's keep the left leg straight. Once you have your grip, take another inhale to lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, come back up. And then we will meet back in downward dog. You're welcome to take a flow, a jump back in a flow if you'd like to get there, or just step back to downward dog. On your inhale, left leg lifts nice and high, and then exhale, bring it forward, drop that back knee. Inhale, reach the right arm up and side bend. Push down into that right knee. Feel that stretch along the right side of the body. Breathe into it. And we'll exhale, right hand to the mat. Come into that twist, looking over your left shoulder. Last few breaths. If you did on the other side, bend that back leg, reach for it with your left hand now. Again, maybe experiment with hips forward or hips back towards that heel. Whatever you did on the other side. One more breath. And then both hands to the mat, walk that foot over, setting up for your pigeon here on this side. Right leg shoots straight back behind you. Make sure you're not sickling that back foot as well. You'll feel a better stretch in your right hip flexors if those toes are pointed straight back. So try not to have too much support here. Give your hips, your low. This pigeon was actually designed to strengthen our hips. And when yoga came to the West, our hips were very weak. And so it started to become taught as a stretch, but really it's supposed to be a strengthening posture and eventually become king pigeon. So if you took that option of grabbing that back foot on the other side, you can do that here. So even if you just grab the foot and start to kind of tug it in a little towards your body, you'll feel more stretch in your right quad, right? So that is necessary to end up getting to king pigeon where we are grabbing that foot behind the head. So we'll never get there, we'll never achieve king pigeon if we always just come forward into that stretch. Go ahead and release that grip and come forward now because people love this stretch. So come forward just a few breaths here. And then work your way back up. Onto that left hip, swing your right leg forward. And we'll set up here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach for that. Lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Just relax your head when you've come as far as you can. Go ahead and inhale. Come back up. Bring your feet together for butterfly. Try to open those feet up. Open the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. 3 breaths. Inhale, come back up. We're going to set up for a twist. So left leg is going to extend out and your right foot will be on the mat. That right knee's bent. Make sure you have enough distance here between your foot and your leg. Your foot, each foot should be in line with your hips. We're going to bring our right hand behind us and you can, couple options, you can bring this leg across the body a bit, reach forward, trying to rotate that arm inward so thumb is facing up and right arm can come back for a bind. Or if you can't get that bind, you can just keep your elbow pressed into your leg and your right hand behind you for support. But we're all looking as far over our right shoulder as we can. Even if it's just with our eyes, we're rooting down into our mat, lengthening the spine as we twist. Keep the belly nice and tight. And then we will come out and switch. So right leg out, left foot in. Make sure everything's hip width apart here. And you'll do whatever you did on the other side. If you were able to get that bind or just use elbow into knee. Left hand stays back for support. Sit up nice and long in the spine there. Keep that right leg flexed, right foot flexed. That leg is engaged. Help root down. We'll take one more breath. And then we'll come out and into Shavasana. So lay down on your mat. You made it. Job well done. Settle into Shavasana. Maybe take one last nice big breath. And on that exhale, you release any last bit of tension. Feel yourself get really heavy, melting down into your mat. Noticing how wonderful you feel. Notice that energy, vibrancy in the body. Stay here as long as you can, connecting with your breath, staying in this present moment, reaping the benefits of that last hour of hard work. Namaste.